work with your students, your brand new students this next week. One of them is the difference between students getting it and sort of getting it is the difference between instructors assuming students know how to be literate and actually deliberately, explicitly telling them how literate people approach print. My second tip is direct instruction, deliberate attention to metacognitive strategies, consistency, and repetition make the difference in our students' literacy growth. One thing you want to do in this very first week is get that textbook out there, or whatever print it is you're using. If you've asked students to buy a book, then it's your charge to advertise that book to them. If you know something about the authors, talk about that. If you know something about the layout of the book, talk about that. I'm putting a link on our webpage that I sent you a link for earlier in your email. I put a couple of links on there about how to introduce a textbook or why to, and another one that shows a graphic of actually going to different pages in the textbook and showing student how those text features in that textbook aid their reading and their learning. All of their textbooks look alike to them, whether it's an English textbook or a science textbook or a history textbook or whatever it might be. The only way they know to know the difference is if you take the time to walk them through your textbook. If you're going to rely on it, and it is an essential part of your class, your students need to feel that and know that. They do that by you spending time with the book and talking to them about how that print is used. You cannot assume that just because they've done well in English classes before, or that other students have maybe never asked these questions before, that your students know what to do with your textbook. My biggest tip for you on week 1 is sell that textbook like crazy. Tip number 2, and this is the last one for this week, we don't want to overwhelm. Tip number 2 is when you say read and. If you don't want to use graphic organizers because you feel like that they are in some way insulting to your students or below the level that they should be working, then at least give them a generic. Show them how to code their text. Figure out what it is you want them to have based on that, and make sure you give them something active to do while they're reading. Thanks, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.